Starting off from the 15th position, we have RHSPD map SRY by M3 Media. M3 Media, or Matthew, did tell me that he made this map at the very last minute because he was late to learn about the contest, so I won't judge it critically. It's a simple map with a bit of gameplay and some narrow corridors. It gets a 5 out of 17. On the 14th position, we have City Plaza by M Hacker. It is a primitive map, shows a plaza-like area in City 17. A dash of proper lighting would have really improved this map, and with the 3D skybox buildings in the distance, they're covered in fog. But I would like to say to the author that if you bring the buildings close to the plaza area and add some lighting, I'm sure this will become a great map. This map gets a 5 out of 17. I like it, but it can be much better. On the 13th position, we have City 17 Uprising by Slide Gaming. Like the previous ones, this map is a quite primitive one as well. It starts off from this area outside the building. I noticed a lot of the geometry and the texture work was a bit off. Inside we get a gravity gun and the suit. What I kind of liked was this, a destructible wall. Because of this, the map gets 1 point as an extra. Then we kill some metro cops and zombies and go outside to fight the combine soldiers. Unfortunately, I died here. I noticed that the map was empty beyond the walls. My suggestion would be to fix the geometry and the texture issues and add some sort of walls or a 3D skybox even to make the map feel somewhat dense. This map gets a 6 out of 17. I appreciate the effort. On the 12th position, we have C17R Hazard by PG the VR Guy. The map is a bit big in scale, which adds a sense of emptiness to the whole place. There isn't much detail around, apart from some props and decals on the wall. It does have multiple sections, which I appreciate. However, most of it is long corridors or large open spaces. A little bit of detail is present in the indoor areas, and the addition of music to the map is good too. At the end, there's this huge area with the Strider in it. Once you kill everyone, we finally escape from the city. This map gets a 6 out of 17. And PG told me that this is his first ever map, and in that case, very well done PG. This is a great map for our first time. On the 11th position, we have Subway by Elite Would Lead. So this map was a bit difficult for me, so I turned on God mode. Honestly, I like the abstract nature of this map. Elite wrote that the setting is supposed to be a City 17 subway after the events of Episode 2, 30 years in the future. It feels and not feels like a subway at the same time. When we start, there's a lot of zombines in there. I like the texture work on this map. Sets a kind of a dark tone to the whole place. After navigating through the subway, we get outside, and here's where the abstract part comes in. The map's layout is weird, but in a good way. It's like a weird fever dream I once had, but I like it. In reference to the setting Elite decided on, it does look like 30 years have passed since Episode 2 and everything is in ruins. There was effort put into it, and I like it. This map gets an 8 out of 17. I would recommend improving the outdoor areas a bit, make it more spacey. as in large areas, and lessen the size of the holes in the ground. On the 10th position, we have Random Map by Bob Vegas. This is a short map. The starting area looks really nice. The textures, the little details and whatnot. I like the ambient light and the skybox chosen for the map. It gives off a feeling of warmth, as if nothing's wrong and everything's fine. This map gets a 8 out of 17. Good job, Bob. On the 9th position, we have ETP City 17 by Elmery the Pig. The map is quite large in size. The first glaring issue I had with this map was the environment light. It is set in a way that half of the map is covered in shadows. Although it might add some personality to the place, it kind of doesn't look good. Then there's the lack of walls or buildings in the surroundings. I would suggest adding something in around the boundaries to make the map feel dense. But I like it. I like this odd type of lighting, and I am impressed at the scale of the map and how the indoor areas feel consistent in appearance. Also, there was an Easter egg which I really enjoyed. This map gets an 8 out of 17. Good map, I like it, but I would suggest changing the ENV light and adding some buildings or walls around the boundaries. On the 8th position, we have Hallway 17 by Elephants Doing Crack. The map is really short, but I like the setting, an underground area. The blinking light is a good touch. There's not much to do, but I like how the place is decorated with props and decals. I like it. Also, there was this. The dead Combine soldier laughing did kind of scare me a bit. The map ends when we go into this vent. Oh, and I found an Easter egg in this map too. The map gets a 9 out of 17. Is good. On the 7th position, we have Radhaz Contest Map by Boriboo. I was really impressed with the map's outdoor geometry. The indoors look great too. However, the 3D skybox could be more improved to make the map feel dense. I liked how the destroyed buildings are designed. They look good. And the variety of indoor and outdoor areas along with some gunplay make the map look good as well. This map gets a 10 out of 17. Good map, but the 3D skybox is a little off with just the citadel visible. On the 6th position, we have C17 Canalside by Some Guy. Yes, that's his name, Some Guy. The main attraction I had to this map was the nighttime setting and the location. The map starts from this area with buildings. We get in a gunfight with the Combine and traverse through the indoor areas. When I saw the canal, as mentioned in the map's name, I really liked it. The reflections of the buildings and the lights made this look very good. For me, it's unique to see a part of City 17 at nighttime, as we don't see something like this in the retail game. Nicely done, Some Guy. This map gets a 10 out of 17. I like it, but maybe some details to the indoor areas like props would improve the map even further. And maybe a 3D skybox as well. On the 5th position, we have Sniper by Narrow Gauge 07. Narrow Gauge, the absolute mad lad, recreated the Sniper_029 map in the retail aesthetic. I was so impressed at this, but gameplay wasn't the main focus of my reviews of these maps. Then again, Narrow did do well at the design aspect as well. The rubble and props around the map do make it look like a war zone. The details in the distance look great, and the long road towards the sniper's location is well decorated as well. The indoor areas are a bit primitive, but from a gameplay perspective, they're good. The only gripe I have is again the lack of a proper 3D skybox. When I was standing on a height, I could see the void to the left or right of the map, but overall, a job well done. The map gets an 11 out of 17. I am impressed. On the 4th position, we have C17 Matte by Melissa. What I like about this map is the subtle world-building elements. Right from the start, we see the metro cops preparing to raid a block, while the citizens each watch anxiously or just sit and wallow in their misery alone. The map uses color correction, and that sets a somber tone for the outside areas. The indoors were well designed as well. We go into the building and a metro cop starts chasing us. Once we jump into a hole, we end up in the sewers. The author added in some gameplay by having this little task, putting boxes against the wall so the soldiers don't raid this place. And if you're wondering how I know that, the map tells us that with text on screen, but I have the UI disabled for now. Then we end up in the canals area, where we get into a firefight with the metro cops. Once at the end, the map ends. I really liked this map. It gets a 13 out of 17. I really liked the color correction effect, the design, and the world building elements. Before we move on, I would like to say the following 3 maps hold the first position in my books. But for this contest, I have to rank them. On the 3rd position, we have Downtown C17 by T3485 Chad. I was blown away by this map. The way it resembles the E3 2003 demo map is uncanny. There's so much detail in here, I just can't believe it. T34 did an awesome job. From the props to the textures to the world design, each and everything is well done. Very well done. The only drawback, in my opinion, is the lack of a good 3D skybox. Once we look over the boundary walls, the immersion breaks. But apart from that, it is very well polished and very well designed. It gets a solid 14 out of 17. Amazing job, T34. On the 2nd position, we have Aurora 17 by Cultist. When this map started, I was kind of unimpressed. The indoors were dark and there wasn't a lot of details that I noticed. But when I grabbed the crowbar and opened the door, my jaw dropped. This was fantastic. Immediately I felt the dark tone of the map, the somber environment, how it feels like a huge battle took place and now everything's silent. Absolutely amazing. Like the previous map, the textures, map geometry, details, each and everything was perfect. But there was one drawback. The indoor areas, in my opinion, were not that good. The only reason being the pitch black darkness. I understand that there's not supposed to be any electricity, but a light through a window would have made a great difference and would have instilled a personality into the indoor areas as well. At the end, there's a boss fight with the antlion guard, which fell off because of the close quarters we were fighting in. but overall, fantastic map. A solid 15 out of 17. I love the overall tone of the map because it's dark and gritty. For the first position and the winner of the first Hazardous Mapping Contest, we have Combine Assault by Red. Now here's the thing. I like this and the last two maps equally, but I chose this one as the winner because of the variety it has. There are multiple unique areas throughout this map, and each feel different from the other. The amount of detail in each of them is amazing. If I didn't know any better, I would say that this is almost a well-made mod of sorts. The lighting is well done throughout. Even in the indoor or underground areas, it has a consistent tone. And best of all, it has a great 3D skybox as well. The amount of polish throughout the map was amazing, and I loved playing through this. Although I was not focusing much on the gameplay, I really enjoyed the last boss battle with the helicopter as well. This submission gets a full 17 out of 17. Well done, Red. Outstanding work. That was the first ever Hazardous Mapping Contest. I really liked going through each of these maps and playing them. I liked everyone's different styles on the mapping. I hope you enjoyed watching them too. And congratulations to Red and everybody else. Well done. The download link for all these maps, by the way, will be in the description below if you want to play them by yourselves. But before I end the video, I would like to do some honorable mentions. First, it's a map called Sewer by Synthesizer or Ibrahim. When he sent me his map, he was honest and told me that he started working on the map before I had announced the contest. Unfortunately, that meant I could not include his map as a submission along with the rest of the maps because it would have been unfair to the other contestants. But I assure you, if this were a submission, this would have easily been the winner. No offense to the other maps and their authors, but this map was phenomenal. And I think you'll agree by looking at the footage. I would go on to so much as say that this felt as if I was playing the retail game at certain points. It felt like an alternate version of Root Canal. But I'm sorry, Synthesizer, if you're watching this. I could not include your map with the rest of the submissions. I really hope that you can join us in the next contest we hold. I would love to see more maps from you. Great job, Synthesizer. Amazing map. Second, it's Rec 17 by Bacon Didn't. This was a map he started work on for this contest, but unfortunately, he couldn't finish it. So I thought showing it as an honorable mention would have been appropriate. Lastly, it's VS Intro 01 by Sora. This is basically an intro map for a source mod Sora is working on. It is beta Half-Life 2 themed, and and that's why I could not include it in the contest. I really like how the city looks like. Really resembles the design style used in the actual beta maps. I would love to see more of Sora's work cause I really like the beta's aesthetic and its map. Beta maps. That gives me an idea.